Ephesians 6, again, that's where Paul talked to the Ephesians and was telling children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother, which is the first commandment, with promise that it may be well with you, that you may live long on the earth. You know, it's sad to say, but a lot of sons today are falling prey even before they come gray. All because they refuse to honor their father and mother. They refuse to be taught by them. You know, so the father said, I have taught you in the way of wisdom, and I have led you in a path, a right path. He's telling them this. You may go to another church, or you may go to some other congregation where people have not been appointed, where they have appointed themselves, and they will teach you doctrine that is not right doctrine. So that is important too. Do like the people of Berea. When you come into the church and you hear a word, don't just take it, but take it home and investigate. Search the scriptures to see if it's true. And then if it is true, then you receive it into your spirit. You know, and the Father now, he makes this affirmation that the Son may know what is right. And then we have just a few sons. And funny enough, even though the eye might be closed, the spirit is open and the spirit is hearing. The spirit can hear. Psalms 23, 3 and 4 says, He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort. And I gotta say that I've got to thank God for my father, who led me in a right path. He had to use the rod and the staff. You know, he did it, and you know, today I'm thankful. Because had he not used the rod and the staff, who knows what would have happened to me. I might have gone astray. I might have remained astray. So that rod and that staff is a good thing. Today we have a problem using the rod and the staff. If a parent tried to use the rod and the staff today, he can be put in jail. And that's a sad thing. You know. By this time the father is looking steadfastly at the boy, and with a sense of urgency mixed with compassion, the father, you know, almost like he's having a broken heart, probably put his hand together and maybe with tears in his eyes. And you say to yourself, why does a grown man cry? Well, it's better to cry with your son than to cry without him, or to cry for him. And a lot of parents today are crying. They're crying for their sons because they're gone. They've been killed, they've been shot, they've been murdered, they've been put in jail. All because they haven't listened to their fathers and their mothers. He says, do not enter into the path of the wicked, and do not go in the way of evil men. Avoid it. Don't pass by it. Turn from it and pass away. For they don't sleep except that they have done some kind of mischief. And their sleep is taken away unless they have caused someone to fall. And this is, you've got teenagers, you've got young men, all of them under 25. If you check the records of the crimes that are being committed in this city and cities around the world, you look at them, you see they're all under 25. The young man who tried to bomb the airline on Christmas Day is under 25.
He was 23.
And he just didn't care. He's a black man just like myself. So it's nothing to do with color. The devil is not prejudiced. He uses whoever. It doesn't matter. Just like God is not prejudiced, God says, whosoever shall believe, it makes no difference. You see? And this is the problem. The Father says, my son, attend to my words. Incline your ear to what I'm saying to you, Proverbs 4:20. You know. And notice the Father, he continues to use these words every time he gives an instruction. You see, he keeps saying, my son, my son. He wants him to know it's your father. that's talking to you.
Yes, sir.
So I keep saying it. He wants him to understand how important it is for him to receive these instructions. Because he knows that wisdom comes by godly instruction.
Praise God. Praise God.
Proverbs 9:9 says, give instruction to a wise man, and he will become wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. He tells them that the path of the just is as a shining light that shines more and more unto the perfect day.
Yes, sir.
But the way of the wicked is as darkness.
Uh-huh.
They don't know why they stumble or what they stumble.
My God.
In John 8:12, Jesus said, I am the light of the world.
Yes, sir.
He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but he shall have the light of life.
Mm-hmm.
And on the subject of life, the Father talks about the heart of man. See, the Father is trying to put a few things here quickly together for him. He talks about the human heart. He touches on this subject because very soon the son will have to deal with the issues of life.
Yes, sir.
So you got to tell your sons and your daughters. I remember back in my days, if you use the word sex at home or in school, you were almost committing an offense.
Oh, yeah, that's what's funny.
If you were to tell your son about teaching them how the importance of sex and when it should happen, when it should not happen, and so on, that's a no-no. You don't talk about it. And this is why Hosea said, for lack of knowledge my people are destroyed.
Yes, sir.
The son needs to know. If you don't tell them, somebody else will. Right now we have the internet that tells them everything they need to know. So why let somebody else tell them in a different story, in a different way? You need to take this wonderful thing that God has created for the multiplication of the world and for pleasure, and you can explain the importance of it to your son and to your daughters, and they will understand. And we need to do this. 1 and 2. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. I want to talk a little bit about it. There's some portals. There's some portals that work along with the heart that can bring about life or death. There's the mouth gate. There's the eye gate. And there is the ear gate.
Mm-hmm.
I heard this many years ago, somewhere back in 1994. I was doing some studies at the Oral Roberts University, and wrote a book on that. We were studying about the gates. He talked about the mouth gate, the eye gate, and the ear gate. Matthew 12:34, Jesus talked about it also. He says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Whatever is in your heart, you can conceal it for a while.
Yes, sir.
But when you see the pressure comes on you,
Oh, yes, it comes on you.
when the pressure, what's in that heart will come out of the mouth, you won't even know it. And then people will know what's inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus says it's not what you put in that defiles a man, but what comes out of it.
Yes, sir.
You see. The human heart is full of issues, and because of the fall of man, we have a wicked heart. And the Father wants to bring this to the attention of the Son. And I'll quote what Jeremiah says right here. Jeremiah, we were studying the book of Jeremiah. The 17th chapter, 9th verse, it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Mm-hmm.
When you speak, hear this. When you speak, you begin to expose who you are. when you speak, you begin to expose
Who you are.
who you are. What's inside of you, what you're all about. A man is his word. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yes, sir.
So when you open your mouth, man, that's what people, and if you're listening, you can tell pretty well what that person is all about. So we need to put away a froward mouth, and perverse lips should be put far away. Let your words be such that they minister grace unto the hearers.
Amen.
Paul said.
Amen.
And that's the mouth gate. Close it unless something good is going to come out of it. It's as simple as that.
Praise God. Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord.
The eye gate. I'll close with the eye gate. He looks at the son straight in the eyes and he said, let your eyes look right on, and let your eyelids look straight before you.
Yes, sir.
Think about the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Don't turn to the right. Don't turn to the left. Remove your feet from evil. That's what he wants.
Yes, sir.
You got, you know, like you could be going down the street and you see some half-naked person, man or woman, and you're just going to look because you can't help yourself. You look. But the problem is the gazing.
Yeah, that's right.
The gazing upon it is the problem. Because if you gaze upon it, then the thoughts and the imagination begin to take place. And that's where you can be in trouble. You see? So the eyes can be a portal for destruction. And that's why the Father is explaining to the Son that the members of the body can be instruments both for good
Yes, sir.
and evil.
Multiply your
That's right. In Genesis 3, we see the problem with Adam and Eve. The devil persuaded the woman to disobey God and eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Bible says, and when the woman saw
Yes, sir.
that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasing to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took up the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also to her husband, who was with her, and he also ate. So the eye gate, the eye gate can be a problem. So you need to look away. Even if you're walking and you see company and you know, like my friend here, if you're walking on the right side of the street and you see company before you coming, go on the other side. Don't walk into them because they will try to persuade you. So walk away, go on the other side. I do that. If I'm going down the street and I see a bunch of guys there, I don't know who they are, I'm not walking through them. I try to find a way that I can go on the other side of the street and go my way. So the eye gate, mouth gate, instruments of destruction, because they were used in the act of disobedience against God. And this is what the Father is warning the sons about, because he knows what the consequences would be. Just as his Father taught him, he now teaches his own son. We must do the same. We must teach our sons and daughters what is right and just in the eyes of God. We must empower them with the knowledge of how to overcome the tactics of the devil. We must teach them that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. We must teach them good doctrine and godly principles. We must teach them about the love of God that is in Jesus Christ, our Lord. And I close. So please stand.
Praise God.
Praise the Lord.
Praise
Hallelujah.
God. Hallelujah.
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 Thank God. Thank God for all the sons. All the sons and daughters. I know you heard something. Even if it's one word, because one word from God is sufficient to change it. My son woke up this morning, and I felt so happy and delighted. He must have heard something. He got up before me and he started to dress, and I wondered, What happened? I was dressing before. And I thank the Lord that something is taking place. I thank you. Bless you. God bless you all. Thank you. Praise the Lord.